Alright guys, we're back here with another video on the Sweaty Potato channel with the Rovan Baja and the Rampage XT. As you can see, the engine's pulled out of the XT, and there's a reason behind that. This is more of gonna be like a technical video, I suppose. I mentioned in the last videos that I could tell my clutch was going south, and well, that's what I did. Was I tore it down and I inspected the clutch, and I caught it just in time. So we're gonna go over that and what I'm in the process of doing with the engine while it's out and all that stuff, and we'll get to it. Okay, what we have right here in front of us is the old clutch, and as you can see, I got it basically pulled out just in time. I got the goodie out of the clutch, and then I'm gonna try to do a close-up inside of the clutch bell, and it's not scored. It's of course blue from heat, just normal wear, but it's not scored in any of the places, and it's still smooth all across. There's no grooves in it or anything. So no, I got it just in time. That side really isn't completely wore to the metal, and then this side is just to the metal, just perfect. So, and then what I noticed when it was doing this, how I knew that something was going up or going down or whatever, is because when I was driving it, it would, like, the engine RPMs would like fluctuate. Like sometimes the clutch would grab, and then sometimes you could tell it was slipping a little bit. You couldn't really see it on camera because I edited those parts out of those bashing videos, but that's ended up what it was. And then I got the engine pulled right here, and then I told you I had one laying on the bench, and there it is, brand new, 8,000 RPM clutch. And then I took all the plastic off of the engine and really wanted to get all the rocks and grass out of the fins and stuff. And then down here, I made like a wire mesh to keep gravel from getting up in there and breaking my fan blades off, because I'm going to show you this. And I know my flywheel's probably out of balance and all that stuff, but it runs, and it still runs awesome. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blades taken off, but they're pretty opposite of each other, so I think it's probably still balanced pretty well. I mean, would be my guess. So but no, I wanted to put that mesh in there just because, for the simple fact that they redid our gravel out front, and when I take it to the sand lot, it's more of like a gravel parking lot, and then gravel gets up in there and it breaks my fan blades off. So I'm doing that to try to prevent that from happening. And then another thing that started happening, and it was starting to get hard starting, and I checked the plug was okay, but one thing I did do is I reset the gap for the armature on the flywheel, and what that is supposed to be, I think it's 6 thousandths. Don't take that for gold. It's somewhere in my manual. So yeah, I adjusted the gap between the pickup coil armature and the flywheel, and it was, surprisingly enough, these bolts were actually, I mean, not even snug. So I went ahead and re-gapped it and tightened them down with Loctite, of course, as I'm learning that stuff is beginning to be my best friend. So see, there's a better picture of the clutch bell. It's not really scored at all. I mean, and then I got some plans going on for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to completely tear it down, completely tear the entire chassis completely down, and clean the main chassis down here, and I'll have the fuel tank off of it. I want to clean everything up like it was brand new again, and I really would like to keep doing that, probably at least once a year. So and then I'm wanting to pull the carburetor off. As you can see, it's the kind of conditions I run it in. I mean, dusty conditions, you're just gonna have that. So I mean, I could brake clean it today, and then tomorrow it'd probably look the same. So but I'm still gonna clean it up, and that's one of the reasons why I got all the plastic off the engine. Is I'm just kind of going over it thoroughly and getting ready for the off season and all that stuff. And then as far as the Rovan goes, my plan for it is I'm going to go ahead and do the same with it. I'm wanting to kind of clean it up a little bit. I'm not thinking that I'll probably have to, tear everything completely apart on this, just because I learned my lesson with the Rampage, not, where to run it and when to run it and all that stuff. So, because these things aren't really easy to clean, and you really have to disassemble the things completely to do a thorough job. So I plan on disassembling them and doing a thorough job. Like I said, I won't have to disassemble the Rovan Baja near as much as I will, the Rampage, just because of the Rampage. I mean, you can see, underneath the battery box, it is just, it's bad. Because there's a couple times where, being a newbie, in March, I was out running it, when the snow was still melting and all that stuff. So this one's a lot more filthy than the Rovan. So no, I'm gonna go through and take these all apart and clean them all up and all that stuff. And I'm also getting pretty excited about the off season too, because that means we can order hop-up parts and stuff like that. And I'm not going to get too extravagant about anything, just for the simple fact that I'm trying to do this on a budget and all that stuff. Okay guys, that's kind of what I wanted to go over in this video. I know it's short and sweet and there's not much to it and there's no bashing and everything, but that's kind of what I wanted to go over. And also another thing I really wanted to point out, these engines are so easy to pull. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts, linkage, and a couple fuel lines. It's so easy. I can usually pull this in about 15 minutes. Don't let that scare you guys. If you're just getting into it and don't have much experience with them and stuff, don't let that scare you away. So, but no, that pretty much wraps it up, guys. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you got something on your mind or any questions, make sure you leave a comment in the comments section. And if you haven't subscribed, you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We'll see you next time, guys.